Okay, we're almost ready to test, but what we need to do first of all is go back to our login form and just take care of the different errors we have, because we've only got one text error just now to say invalid email or password. But what we'll do instead, because we're going to get the error directly from the server now with this text inside, we'll just update this so that we can get the error or the actual error passed back from the server. So what we'll do is we'll say for our error, we're going to set it to error.response.data. And everything else in here should stay the same. So what we'll do is we'll go and test. And let's go back to our browser and let's just refresh the form, see if we've got any genuine errors. Our session's expired, that's fine. And what we'll do is we'll go back to 10-minute mail and we'll get another email address. And I'll copy this into the clipboard and go to the application. And we'll attempt to register a new user. So I'm going to say test2 as a display name and test2 as the username and paste in the email and give it a genuine password. And click on register. And we should get taken to our confirm or register success component, and we can see successfully registered. And some instructions. So please check your email for the verification email. And if I click on 10-minute mail again, what we should find, and we may need to wait a little while for the email to come through. So I'll pause the video, and once I see the email come through, I'll unpause it. It may take up to 5 minutes for this to happen. And it took a little bit longer than last time, but the email has indeed arrived. And if I click on this, then we should see that we've got our link inside here. So I'll copy this or copy the link address into my clipboard. And what we should find if we go paste this in is we get taken to our email verification component. Email has been verified, and I forgot to give the content or did something wrong with the button here. But this in theory should be our login modal. Let's just make sure it is, and it is. And now we should be able to log in. If I go back and I just click on resend email, let's just double check this functionality as well. And we get the toast to say that the verification email has been resent. And what we should find is that another email pops into our inbox here to resend that verification check, even though we don't need it because we've already technically registered. And we can see the email has now popped into the inbox for the resending of the verification email. But what we should be able to do now is actually log into our application. So I'll go back home and click on login, and we paste in the email and the password, and we now have a fully confirmed email for this particular user. So we're almost ready to redeploy, but before we do, let's just check our error messages are correct inside here. Then if I just try and log in as Bob and say bob@test.com with an invalid password, do I see the error? And that's a no. And what do we get in the console? An unhandled error was caught and cannot read property data of undefined. But what's happening here, if we go back to our agent.ts, then we were not defensive enough in our 401. And we're checking the status and the 401 and the headers, and then we're using a function on the header. Now, if we don't have this, then it's going to return an error here. So what we want to do is be a bit more defensive and just add that question mark there. And that should resolve this problem. And if I go back to the browser, let's just refresh the page. And we continue to get the error from Facebook, but we'll ignore that. And if I click on login, and if I say bob@test.com, and with an invalid password, then now we get the correct error. And if I have an invalid email, then we see invalid email. And if I try Jane at test.com who does not have a confirmed email, then add the correct password, then we get email not confirmed. And that's what we're looking for. So we can consider this complete, and what we'll do is we'll go and redeploy our application next.